there we are. What's up, YouTube? How are you doing? Good afternoon, at least from the Central European time zone. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, good evening, wherever you live in the world. Good to have you here for a little bit of time as we are going to cover Elliott waves and also a couple of new scenarios that I will look at in this range because Master GZ wrote something in the Discord group, and I'm always interested to observe other scenarios or new scenarios or people thinking differently. So I'm going to put a couple of new scenarios on my chart and we're going to chat about it and see what's up. Generally, I like to keep things as simple as possible. That helps with Elliott waves. But we're definitely going to check some new stuff. So good to have you here. I had a busy day. In the morning, picked up my wife from the airport. That's actually a story by itself. So we do a little bit of story time first. And then I will do Elliott wave analysis, of course, on the chart. We're going to go through the different folders here. After that, we go in chatting and Q&A. But before we actually go into chatting and Q&A, I have 3 scenarios from Discord that I like to talk about from an analyst in Discord called GZ. If you're in Discord, you can check his name. He just wrote in Discord earlier today. And I just want to check the scenarios that he wrote because it's always interesting to get new perspectives and see what people are thinking about. And I actually know him well, as in like online, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. And then we jump into chatting and Q&A, right? So I'll probably be online till like 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. Not going to make a like evening video, you know, in my time zone, like a new video tonight, because we are streaming at 5 p.m. local time here. Usually a video is online at like 7 or 8, but not too much is changing because we're arranging, right? So I like to stream a little bit longer, answer some more questions, that sort of stuff, instead of going offline earlier and then uploading a separate video of pretty much probably what we're going to talk about in this live stream anyway. Know what I mean? So yeah, that being said, Jeroen Iliagos, welcome. QZ Bina, yeah, the notification worked this time. That's good to hear. Monizilla, welcome as well. Joe Waves, how you doing, man? Good to have you here. Good to have you here. Mr. of the Clean Charts. Serega, welcome. Cosmo, what's up? Rob from the US, popping in. JL, hello. Bettina, welcome. Mr. Friends, how you doing? We're actually gonna, like, what I'm gonna cover later with these scenarios from GZ. Also, Bettina has been talking about the same thing, which these scenarios are based on from GZ. So we're gonna cover that later. Secret. Teasing, but yeah, Mr. Friends, what's up? How you doing? The AI master, Zandra Brimon, hi from the Philippines, hi from the Netherlands. So short story time. This morning, I was gonna pick up my wife. Now, I had quite a busy morning, made the video, but I couldn't upload the video from my home. I had to catch the train. I like traveling by train because I can work. So I record the video, pack everything, get myself to the train, upload the video in the train, do the timestamps in the train, while in the train. Then I arrive at the airport, like my wife's already out of the airplane, right? She's in line waiting for passport control and that sort of stuff. And I'm like, whew, I made it. So I'm like, okay, let me get a rose, right? I buy a flower, get a nice rose, and then I wait at exit 3. So, you know, Schiphol is a big airport. So I wait at exit 3, and I'm like, what's happening? She has no idea I'm coming. She has no idea I'm picking her up. It's a surprise. Got my rose there, standing, waiting for her to come out. We're chatting, trying to figure out where she is. And then out of nowhere, I get a message saying, I can even read it to you. Wait, I got WhatsApp on my desktop. Out of nowhere, I receive a message from my wife, and she says, made it through passport control, sends a screenshot of the train trip that she's going to have, and she's like, I'm on this journey. I'm in the train now. And I am still standing there at the exit with my rose. So somehow we missed each other. I have no idea where. Maybe I was getting the rose and she walked past or whatever it was. But so now I'm like, okay, well, I have a couple of minutes time to get to that train, right? So I have a little bit of time. Let me open it actually. So this was the trip that she had, right? So I was like, okay, got a little bit of time, I can still make that train. So I'm like, there you go, me running on the airport trying to fetch that train, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna surprise her in the train. And then out of nowhere she says, we're leaving now. And I'm like, but it is not 11:43 yet, it's 11:39. And she says, I'm leaving now. So I'm like, that she got a wrong train. There's no way, because I know 11:43 as I'm waiting for 11:43. So she jumped in a wrong train, which lucky for her went to the same destination, but it was the train that goes to Paris, but it stops in Rotterdam where she had to go. So she got fined for $20 because she wasn't supposed to be in that train with the ticket she had. So so she didn't know I was on Schiphol. She didn't know I was following her. She had no idea. And then eventually I saw her on Rotterdam, and, you know, we traveled back. So that was story one. Story two, in a nutshell, I was working in the garden, so that's why I stream late. I had to cut a couple of trees and bushes and stuff. And I do like to work in the garden. It's actually pretty relaxing. So, yeah, had to get that done. Got myself cut as well. You probably can't even see it, but yep. Done that. I only still have to clean it because the branches are literally everywhere on the ground, but I'll do that tomorrow because I wanted to stream. So we'll show the timing of the, yeah, we can speak a bit about time as well. We're going to talk about Elliott waves right now because that was pretty much the story of today. The trip to the airport and cutting the trees and the bushes in the garden. Okay. What am I gonna do with this here? Am I gonna put those fibs? I think I need these fibs in a new scenario, actually, or a new count. Let me very quickly. The red line is this previous range point of control, by the way. But let me clean things up. And just put these two quickly in a folder. Okay. And just, I want to organize my chart, make it nice and clean. So I haven't really had time this morning to do analysis. So let me quickly actually check if there's some new levels. And for the ones interested, I'm also going to show ATAS on stream. I quickly want to know if there's a daily naked point of control. There might be a point of control here, a new fresh daily naked point of control. So I just want to check if that is indeed the case. So 1 second, I'm starting up ATAS. So we're starting very fresh because in the morning I had no time to check for my horizontals on the time frames. And I also had no time to check for point of controls. So why not do that on stream, and you guys can actually see what my routine is in the morning, which is actually very short. I have a very short routine. The only thing I do is I check the dailies, right? And like horizontal levels, weekly, daily, that sort of stuff. Talking about the weekly. No, nothing going on here. And then I go to the 1 hour time frame, and then I check the point of controls. Right. And then finally, if there's an area of interest, I'll check the fibs as well. And then I'm pretty much done because that is how I get my target boxes. Areas of confluence to the up or the downside. Volume levels and time frame horizontal levels. So what you just heard was ATAS starting up. When the window is ready, I'm going to drag it on the screen. So give me 1 second here. It's loading. Preparing main window, almost finished. And then we go through Elliott waves, of course, as well. So there we go, window is finished. Gonna put the daily naked point of controls on the chart. 1, 2, 3, there we go. Daily time frame. Template is in Discord, by the way. Yeah, I thought so. 7775. I already had that feeling. Okay. This is the current day, right? Today's point of control here. But that's not interesting. Oh, that's not interesting. Okay, cool. So that's that. And then we do the weekly stuff. So this is the current weekly and the current monthly point of control. Those are generally a lot less interesting to me, so I never really take a look at these. I don't have them on the chart anymore as well because I don't really use them. But this template is interesting to check weekly or monthly point of controls. You can see we have a monthly point of control at 51.8k, and then a couple of weekly point of controls to the downside as well. But yeah. And then and that's it. That's my whole morning routine. Check the daily time frame stuff. Check the point of controls. Of course, we have a daily naked point of control here, but it's quite solo. I will remove this because that's been touched. This is a level that's pretty much by itself, so not too likely to give a lot of resistance, and therefore I just let it be, leave it. Okay, so if you are curious with regards to Atas is completely free, and you can just search for Atas template, and then we have my message over here. Oh wait, this is in Go. Oh wait, here general. I have to put it in the good to know channel, right here actually. But you will here find my 2 templates that I've literally just shown. So if people are interested, let me do this and then do that up. No, not that. So that you will find it very quickly. There we go. Okay, so now let's start then with Elliott Waves. I want to start on the weekly, pretty much right in the morning. We spoke about the high time frames as well, especially when price was moving down on Friday here. I think it is important to talk about the higher time frames, as quite quickly when price is moving somewhat fast and dropping, people tend to get scared, right? They zoom into the lower time frames, they see a candle that is this big, they're like, oh fuck, right? Oh, it's sometimes very nice to zoom out. So we're going to start on the high time frames, then zoom into the range, and then before we go into chatting and Q&A, I want to cover a few scenarios that GZ posted in Discord, which is this one, and this one. BTCTA channel, that's where you can find it. So let's go. Cool. Also, welcome to the people that just joined as well, right? Roller, Polar Bearman, bit of time. John, how you doing? Adrian, Dumpy Boot Boy. You change your name every week, no? Focusing on Bitcoin today. Donovan, how you doing? Hermsy, Ethereum will be in the altcoin stream again. I have an altcoin stream on my channel. If you go to the homepage, scroll down, Ethereum is covered in that stream. So no worries. What are your top 5 altcoins? I don't trade alts, so difficult for me to say. What's up, Zed? How you doing? Patrick? Yeah, so she got into the TGV, I believe. So with her normal OV chip card, right? She went into the train to Paris instead of, and it stops in Rotterdam, but it's not the intercity. So actually, apparently there's a fine of $50, but they made it $20 because she doesn't go further or whatever it was. But yeah, it's stupid. And she's not Dutch. She's South African officially. So yeah, of course she looks like an expert. But yeah, welcome Patrick. Good to have you here. Barbie, welcome. Yeah, exactly. Short routine. Keep things easy. Mark Dutch, write the time down. That's a good one. What's up, Abid? Welcome. Matthew as well. The time is 17 minutes. Good to know. Okay, let's start. Cover Elliott Waves on the chart. We start on the weekly, and we're going to go down to the lower time frames. Well, 1 hour is the lowest I want to go today. So on the weekly time frame, it's nice to zoom out. I always start on the weekly in the morning as well when I quickly check the charts to do, of course, my Elliott Wave analysis for the morning update. I prefer to start on the weekly, zoom out, clear mind, instead of looking on a 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, 1 hour chart, right? So on the higher time frames, the weekly time frame, here you can see a double 1-2 impulsive structure towards the upside where we expect new highs and continuation of the trend. Continuation of the trend, by far the highest probability scenario, as I will explain. We have here a double 1-2. And in this scenario, your wave 3 is already finished. You're looking for your wave 4 here before then continuation in your wave 5. Target area for wave 4, 0.236, 0.5 Fibonacci, taken from the low to the high of wave 3, giving you a target between 63.3k and 53.3k, with the invalidation being the 0.618 at 49.3k. After this, we expect to move up in 5. Because wave 1 and 3 are quite similar in length, it gives wave 5 the opportunity to be extended, meaning wave 5 becomes the longest and strongest wave. That is a rare occasion, doesn't happen often, but because 1 and 3 are quite similar in length, it does increase the probability for a wave 5 to be extended. But you have to realize increasing the probabilities is basically going from, let's say, a 5% to a 10%. You know what I mean? It's still not a high probability it happens, but it can happen, and we have to observe what price does. If we go into an extended wave 5, what we want to see is a volume increase. We want to have a higher volume than we see here on the weekly chart, right? So that's something we can pay attention to. After this wave 5, we're looking for the end of the yellow 3, another range in 4, and another push up in another wave 5. Alternatively, if price is moving to the upside, as mentioned, an extended 5 is rare, right? By far most common is that the extended wave in an impulse is the third wave. That is usually the strongest, highest volume, most impulsive wave to either the upside or the downside. And that is why I also have this scenario on the chart here, where we still need to get our wave 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in yellow, right? And then the lower degree, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in green, and then in blue, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's degrees, Elliott Wave degrees. The biggest one is yellow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inside the yellow wave 3, we have green, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in green, and inside the green wave 3, we have another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this case, we are looking for a wave 3 of a wave 3 of a wave 3. In other words, very impulsive and very strong. Also in this scenario, if price moves up, we want to see price moving up, of course, impulsively, right? In a nice parabolic move, and volume increasing. That is what we're looking for. Just as a little bit of a comparison, right? Look what happened here. You can see the move, right? The parabolic structure, and you can see the volume here, right? This is like the bump where we are now. From a 1-1-1-2 perspective, right? You're like, oh, look, we're here. That's cute. And then once you start moving, you want to see this, right? And pop, 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 pop. That is what we're looking for if price breaks out towards the upside. So the first candle that closes above the high and on lower volume doesn't mean we do this, right? Just like in 2020, you close candles over here, right? And these are not yet higher than the peak. No problem, right? No problem. So we're going to observe what price does. But here we're looking for a big wave 3. Now, because all the previous wave 2s retraced to the 0.236 to the 382, which, by the way, is an uncommon target for a wave 2, but in strong trending markets, that is more common, probabilities. Now, I also here put the 0.236 and the 382 on my chart. However, a wave 2 can retrace all the way to the 786, but that is not what we expect looking at the range that we have over here. If we then go to the bearish scenario, as an Elliott Wave analyst always needs a bullish and a bearish scenario, and then based on the analysis, you give probabilities. Now, as mentioned, the bullish scenarios have a much higher probability than this bearish scenario, which naturally is a flat structure where we have a 3, 3, and eventually a 5, WXYXZ, ABC, impulse to the downside. This is the target for a regular flat. Regular flat is an uncommon flat pattern. 69k, 74.3k, that is where we are right now. And this is the expanding flat target. 98k to 122k fibs taken from the high to the low on the logarithmic chart, right? So make sure that also your fibs are on the log setting down here, right? When you are working on the logarithmic scale, usually when regarding at least Bitcoin, when we're talking about Bitcoin, you use log everything above the daily time frame. And also when there is a move, that's mainly altcoins actually, when price is moving a lot of percent in a short amount of time, 50, 60, 100, 500, you know, those alts can go crazy up and down. you prefer to use the alt or the logarithmic chart, right, to balance the chart in percentage. So if this would have been the end of your wave B and oops, we go down, right, we want to see an impulse in a wave C as we're looking for a 5-wave structure. But on the lower time frames, if we go to this range, probabilities are much higher that this is a 3-wave structure and not a 5-wave structure at the moment, right? It counts a lot better as a 3-wave move, but actually this over here is not even too interesting to me. 5-wave, 3-wave, it's almost like whatever, even though it's a high probability for a 3-wave. This one Fibonacci level, that is what really impacts the probabilities to move up. Because if you're looking for a big move down in a 1, 2, 3, so a big impulse, right? Somehow you have to count this as an impulse. Then you have a 1, 2, and you want to see a very big wave 3 to the downside in that bear market, right? Or the wave C in the bearish scenario. But a wave 2, the 886 for a wave 2 is a very rare target. It is much more common for a wave B or wave X, increasing the probabilities any move coming off the 886 is a corrective structure. And that in turn increases probabilities to take the high sooner or later. So on the weekly time frame, probability is much higher for continuation to the upside, right? And that is something that's, I suppose, always good to know about specific fibs. So keep in mind that 886 Fibonacci. Okay, that being said, time to talk about the range. What's up, Dave Digital, by the way? Malon, welcome. Maybe a band-aid. Welcome, good to have you here. Okay, time to talk about this range. As price is moving to the upside here, that's interesting. We're not close to the 618 just yet. Okay. Time to talk about this range. Now, you know this scenario if you are a regular viewer. You kind of know what I'm going to talk about. But what is happening locally is actually quite important for these two scenarios. Now, what you see on the chart is a regular flat in orange and an expanding flat in green. To be more precise, 3-wave move in your A. Then you're looking for a 3-wave move in your wave B. And then a 5-wave impulsive move in a wave C. In a regular flat, this is your common target. As mentioned, a regular flat is an uncommon pattern. An expanding flat where wave B should go to the 1.236 to the 1.38, most common target for a wave B in an expanding flat. A uncommon target for a wave B in an expanding flat is the 105, by the way. So that would be a minimum target. But as you can see, we didn't hit it. And that target is between 76.9k, 78.8k. And then you want to see an impulse to the downside where the target for your impulse is in green here between the two 1.618s, which is between 56.7k and 50.2k. As long as price does not take this low, that scenario is not invalidated, right? It becomes quite difficult to come up with arguments if this low is taken to move up for a wave B, because in this wave B, we're looking for a double zigzag, WXY, right? ABC, we're going to talk about this section here later. ABC, move down, ABC, that's what you're looking for, WXY, and then a move down. But of course, in an ABC, wave B is not allowed to move below wave A in a zigzag, 535, right? So therefore, this is the invalidation. I am not counting this as some sort of a double zigzag structure, because if you're counting this as a WXY in a bigger WXY, right, then wave X went above your wave W, and in a double zigzag, that's actually not allowed. You want to have your WXY, wave X preferably not hitting the 0.7 Fibonacci of your wave W, because if so, it starts to get too high and it reduces probabilities, right? So you want a double zigzag should be a sharp corrective structure to the downside. So if we hit this low, probabilities are very low for the green flat, but we haven't just yet, at least for now, right? Regular flat, A, B already finished in that case, and then a wave C. Now wave C has to be an impulsive structure, and that makes the weekend and the timing of the weekend very interesting, because for a wave C, we're looking for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now a wave 3, most commonly, is going to the 1.618 trend-based fib extension, which is below the invalidation. The minimum target for a wave 3, or I should say this differently, the only rule a wave 3 has is that it is not allowed to be shorter than wave 5 and wave 1, right? So it can't be the shortest wave. Either one, or sorry, yeah, wave 3 can't be the shortest wave, right? So wave 1 and 5 are not allowed to be longer than 3. However, this move down is already longer than your wave 1. The thingy is that if your wave 1 here is finished and this is your 2, and we are now starting a wave 4 here already, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a very small little 3. That's not a problem per se because it's longer than 1. The issue becomes the potential overlap with your 1. Now I have a bit of a scam wick here, so we ignore this one because on other charts it's not there. But if price is going to touch this line, right, and we are looking for a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like an impulse to the downside, that would be an invalidation usually, no? Because wave 1 and wave 4 are not allowed to overlap unless we talk about diagonals, right? But that is at the moment not yet what we are thinking about. And I say yet, of course we have 3 updates a day, so depending on price action we change things. And also if this is your range into, so we want to see a 1, 2, 1, 2 in that case. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. It's a bit of a big 4 now. Let me go to the 15-minute. I have seen like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have seen this as well as a wave 1. So that is something I still consider. But 1 second here, because this is all not prepared. Doing this live for you. This is 1 second. Let me at least take the longer one now. Yeah, so we are ranging after the 4 fib time, getting close to the 5. Preferably you already want to finish your wave 4 in that case. So it's low probabilities at the moment that this whole range is in relationship to the wave 2 that we have here, because this range starts to be very long and you want to start a wave 5 very soon. Now arguably you had a finished flat here, A, B, C, and then this here is your 1. It's not a nice one, it's an expanding diagonal. 1 in that case, or it has to be. But just for the fun and giggles, take a fib time from the low to the high here, drag it on this low, and we are ranging after the 1 and between the 1 and the 2, and that's absolutely fine. And the 4 is on Monday, and the 5, which is something you don't want to touch, is Monday afternoon Central European time, 5 p.m., 5:15 p.m. So that would make for a wave C the most sense time-wise. I got a question earlier if I wanted to talk a little bit more about time. So there we go, right? This being a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this wave 2 is very short compared to this wave 4 in time, because we're almost hitting the 5 fib time. That's where probabilities start to really go down. And once you hit the 6 fib time, it's not an invalidation, but it just, probabilities are tanking. So in that case, it would make more sense to have a 1, flatten your 2, 1, 2, right? And then this is your 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, where this first wave 4 is connected to this wave 2, which then means that this low is not the low you want to touch. Now, what I prefer to use as an invalidation is the 0.618. So if we take a fib from this high, right, to the low that we have now, don't look at that scam wick, no? Other charts don't have it. Then if price would hit the 0.618, it invalidates a wave 4 that is connected to if this wave 2 in that case. If you look for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you don't want to hit the 0.618. The scam wick did, but on other charts we didn't get that, right? I want to see it like normally, quote unquote, you know what I mean? So basically what I'm saying, if your wave B is in and we go for a C, right, to the downside, the 618 is important, and the level of the 618 is 68.9k. Hitting this before taking the low and probabilities increase to move up. Sooner or later at least. And then the only alternative you have is a diagonal, where you then have your 1, this has to be your 1 then, 2, and then a 3, 4, 5, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This being the end of your 1 in that case, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be, so your wave 3 is longer than your wave 1, which is not ideal. It's not an invalidation, right? But it's not ideal. And if I take a channel, let's have a look here. It has to be that low to this low. Yeah, you can't, man. So that would be a very ugly. I'm not looking at diagonals yet. Fuck that. So anyway, probabilities, if you hit the 618, it does increase probabilities to move to the upside. The only scenario that goes against it would be a diagonal, but that's not what we are looking for at the moment. All right. So important. And that is also with the drop yesterday, right? When we were live in the evening. I did have a midnight run, by the way, for the people that have me on Strava. You've probably seen it. I did a zone 2 nasal breathing training of 4 kilometers, short distance, slow pace, zone 2 training. It was very good. And I finished my run at 10 past 12 or something. Anyway, keep an eye on the 0.618, right, guys? So, yeah. We're going to talk about the probabilities and stuff in a second. Okay, I first want to go through the scenarios. Okay. Then we get to the triangle. Eric Dorion La Flamme, bonjour. Comment ça va? Cherry, that's correct. On other exchanges, we don't have the wick, so that is why I don't like to take this wick into account. It's in the back of my thoughts, but I don't really like to use it for analysis. Now, still a scenario I have in my folders at least is the triangle, right? A, B, C, D, E, and then continuation to the upside, where your wave B has to be a 5, 3, 5 zigzag to the upside, as it's by far most common if one of the waves is not a zigzag, as in a triangle, 4 out of 5 waves have to be a zigzag. If one wave is not a zigzag, it's by far most common C or D. So forget A, D, A, B, and E. E by itself can be a triangle, by the way, but that's very rare. In this case, we label B as an A, B, C. A little bit of a problem I have with this is that it is very rare for a wave C to only hit the 0.618. Take a trend-based fib extension from the low of A to the high of white A to the low of white B. Toggle on your wave C target area. 0.618 in gray, rare target for C. Common target area is up here between the 1 and the 1.236. 1.618 is also less common. So yeah, that is not ideal for a wave C. And that is why in the morning video I actually didn't show this scenario, but it's still in the folder. So I still want to update you with what I have, right? So this is still something I got as well. But of course, in this scenario, we're looking for that wave C to the downside, which should be a zigzag to the downside in an A, B, and a wave C, and then move up where the invalidation is wave A. And that is interesting because, and this is what I want you to remember, for a flat, we're looking for price to take this low. In the triangle, you do not want to take this low, right? So depending on the structures that you get to the downside here, we can quite easily move probabilities around between the flat and the triangle here. But now we're just ranging, as that is what we were looking for yesterday when price was falling. The only tip I all the time gave is from an Elliott Wave point of view, just wait for a range. Weekend is coming up. Typically, weekend is ranging as well. And yeah, we are ranging at the moment, slowly getting some more information, which is always nice. Now, for the expanding flat scenario, you are looking at this. So the invalidation is the same. And you're looking for A, B, C towards the upside in that case. Your wave B retraced to the 886, common target for a wave B, and you want to see continuation. You don't want to see that low taken, as then it's very likely to take this one here. We want to see proof of support, preferably, and this is confluence between the waves, preferably, what do we want to hit? We want to hit the 0.618. And that would increase the probabilities to move to the upside. So we are now just ranging. I have no interest, I'm just chilling. I entered a short yesterday. For the people that saw the live stream, I explained why I entered it. So hopefully people also learn a little bit about the hows and the whats. Already took a take profit 1, stop loss break even, chill. This level, the 0.618, is interesting. That is not a long entry for me, but it does change the probabilities, which makes me slowly become, like, it starts to make me interested to look for a long. And then depending on how price moves around the 618 and everything after, I can get a better idea of, hey, do I want to enter the yes or the no, right? It's not necessarily we hit it and up, right? I want to be patient. I'm a patient trader. I want information, and the chart will give it to me eventually, right? And yeah, that is pretty much it. No? We are currently at the point of control of the range. Important support resistance is above us, 68.2, 68.6. The 886, spoke about that. And we had a little bit of bullish CVD divergences at the low, but this one already played out. And I believe we also had a little bit of bull CVD here on blue, but that has, yeah, so higher lows on price, lower low actually on yellow as well as on blue. Bullish CVD divergences already played out as price took this high here. So cool. Let's then talk about the probabilities, right? From an Elliott Wave perspective. On the weekly time frame, as mentioned, probabilities are much higher to continue towards the upside and look for new highs above 74K. We have to wait and see if that happens in a wave 5, possibly an extended 5, but that is quite rare, or a 111.2 and a very big wave 3 to the upside. High volume, right? That's what we are looking for. The bearish scenario, lower probabilities, right? Low, actually not even lower. Low probabilities. In this range, I like to keep things quite simple. I will cover some scenarios that I saw in Discord from an analyst called GZ, a great Elliott Wave analyst as well, that are a lot more complex. But we have the flat here, and we have the triangle at the moment that I have on my chart. There's an alternative, which is a WX and then a flat in a Y. The wave Y just starts to become a bit big for W. I don't know. I'm not yet a fan, but the conclusion would be the same if this is a WX and a flat in a Y. Event, you either take this low and then potential C and up. Right, or you don't take this low, but you would take this one, and then we think, potential triangle. Anyway, I think I may have made it more difficult than I wanted now. So, from a probabilities perspective, right, a regular flat is a uncommon pattern, which of course affects the probabilities of what's happening in the range. If this is a wave B of a regular flat, right, we want to see wave C move below the A here, which means we are looking for continuation. We don't want the 618 hit locally. Forget the scam wick, right? But we don't want to hit that 618 if we still think about a wave C. However, just because Elliott Waves, a regular flat is uncommon, and therefore I am not yet convinced in that regular flat scenario here on the chart as well. also with the push here to the downside. So I can't yet give it the highest probability or like the number one spot. Usually my probabilities have a 1, 2, 3. If price takes this low, I'm first going to be thinking about potentially triangles, so yeah, it's I struggle to have this as the highest probability. What I would love, but that's a personal opinion, is the expanding flat. Price moving up, greed and FOMO absolutely getting wrecked, panic and fear getting wrecked, and then move up. From a trading psychology perspective, that's by far the most interesting scenario, but we're very close to invalidation. So therefore, I suppose in this range, the probabilities, and this is a bit of a boring probability, I suppose, but I'm actually quite neutral because I just observe what happens here. Are we going to hit the 618? Are we going to take the low? That's what I'm interested in. What kind of price action are we forming here? Does it look impulsive? Does it look corrective, right? Just let the weekend do its thing. But I'm not yet convinced in a regular flat. So yeah, pretty neutral probabilities, just waiting for this range to give me more information and then take it from there. Naturally, an expanding flat has a higher probability than a regular flat. But yeah, there's no clear signs of either up or strong downside. We're just ranging, and that's what I'm waiting for. I'm just waiting for that to give me more information. Hit the 618, take the low, corrective, impulsive structures. And that's sometimes the nicest position to be in from an Elliott Wave point of view, is to just have patience, right? Probabilities aren't always highest to go up or down, or sometimes it's like a 60-40, a 55-45, right? 50-50. And I just like to have more information. As mentioned, I'm already in a trade. I explained earlier what could make me interested in a long position, right? But at the moment here, I'm not doing anything. I'm just waiting. I let my short run. It either hits, I already took TP1, hits stop loss break even, fine. And if it does, I get slowly interested in longs because also the 618 is there. And then I'm going to observe. So yeah. However, if we then zoom in here, this is a very long sideways range. Looks a bit corrective, no? So yeah. If this would be a 1-2-1-2, then this is a very long range now. For 2, this looks a bit 3-wavy. I'm not yet too convinced in an impulsive structure to the upside. But yeah, we still have Sunday, and it's quite likely we still have more ranging to go. What's this retracement? $786. What's this one? Not even the 382. So yeah, being very patient here. Being very patient. In the end, looking for price to move up still, right? So continuing the trend, and that expanding flat scenario for me is very interesting. I can't look away from that expanding flat. That would be such a banger. But then we don't want to hit 64.5. So CVD, what are we having on the 15? Yeah, I mean, we have bullish CVD with this low, higher low in price, lower low on the CVD, but I want to see local support. So I want to see stuff here. Took the high. So yeah, that's that. Patience. Smakelijk, Patrick. Okay. So so even though the probabilities, of course, are relatively like, you know, neutral weighting, see what price does, you do get a very clear idea of how the probability, at least I hope so, that based on the analysis and what I mentioned, you have a very clear idea of how the probabilities are going to change the moment certain levels are hit, right? So once the 618 is hit, or once the low is hit, right? And then local structures, we're going to wait and see what happens locally tomorrow as well. But hopefully you have a better idea of the switch in probabilities when certain levels are hit. And that is what's important with trading as well, right? So you want to have clarity. Okay. Let me put the range point of control on the chart. Not that one. That's the newest one. I want this one. Very nice. I think we are now against the... Yeah, okay. So we are testing the... Let me keep this one on as well. Oh. But yeah, not yet seeing great impulsive structures. Move up, move down, move up. Looks a little three-wavy scam wick here. That's it is something I keep in the back of my mind, but it's not nice price action, of course. So yeah, just remaining patient. Three-wavy move down. This is all corrective. Lots of overlap. Yeah, it can't be a diagonal at the moment, because you have a 1, 2, 3, 4. You need at least one more if you look at diagonals here, because this is a lower low. Bullish divergences here already played out. We took the high. Bullish divergences here already played out. So yeah, it's a nice moment to observe. Oh wait, the 618. I want the 618 on my chart. 1 second here. Don't mind the scam week. Okay, 68.9k. Cool. So that is kind of like the analysis. What I now want to do is talk about 3 scenarios that GZ posted in Discord. So I'm quickly gonna like replicate this, not in detail, and then yeah, I just want to have a look at them. So he's a good Elliott Wave counter as well, and I'm just interested in some of his ideas, and then see what the probabilities are. So in his counts, we have at least one more low to go, which is definitely a possibility. And I know they might look, the charts might look a little bit confusing, but I'm going to put them on my chart as well. So that is what I want to do now. And then we go into chatting and Q&A. And we have time still. We have time. Okay, I'm going to keep this. Going to put the targets off though. Yeah, let me clean this up. Okay, there we go. Okay, scenario 1. What are we looking for? Okay, so scenario 1 is that we have a 3, 4, 5 that is finished. And he's already looking for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a text here that, you know, truncation, that means truncated fifth. Very rare. So never preferred unless all the other stuff doesn't work. So I'm not too big of a fan of truncation. I would prefer to put this 5 on the higher high here, and then count the corrective structure different in whatever way. But it doesn't change the overall count, as you would still look for an ABC down. Let me have a look. So triangle, impulse, WXY. Wait. Oh, his 3 ended here. There. So that is an A, B, C, D, E, A. A, B, C, D. What else does he have here? Okay, that's cool. Yeah, so also counting this as a zigzag down. I can't keep my eye away from this very ugly A for a triangle. It's such a short move compared to B, C, D. E is quite quick, but then we have the impulse up. So this is your wave 1. And then, oh, wow, what's the chance? And then W, X, Y. Let's go. I'll answer the question in a second that I see here. WX. Yeah, so this is a double zigzag. Zigzag, WXY and X, and another zigzag. But that's a sideways corrective structure with X going above W. And in a double zigzag, of course, you don't want X to actually go above W, right? You want this. WXY. Preferably not hitting the 0.7. Anyway, it's on my chart now. So let's have a look. And then, of course, counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? The 618, this one, you don't want to touch that in this scenario, right? So again, it's just another scenario where the 618 is important, because here you're looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Finishing Y, in that case, a WX. Oh, no, wait. He had an A, B. Okay, it doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're still not allowed to hit the 618. So you need to take the low before moving to the 618. Don't mind the scam wick on my chart here. Other charts do not have it, so we don't take it into account. Okay. Now, I saw this triangle before, but also A, B, C, D, E. Those type. It's just that the wave A is so small. I agree that there's a way that you count this correctively, can count it correctively to the upside, as well as impulsively. It's actually a very annoying structure, this one here. But this wave A it's so short in time. It's pretty much one candle compared to much bigger B, C waves. While preferably, of course, for a triangle, we have A, B, C, D, E, where your wave A is one of the bigger ones. As you start with it. Now, wave A generally has the highest amount of volume. That's not a rule. That's a guideline where the volume in a triangle is decreasing. And it is like, you start to range. You're coming off an impulse, and you start to slowly range. So naturally, the volume goes down. This move can also still be a wave 4. And that's the alternative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Where I would then count this as a flat. A, B, C. Or a zigzag, but I was on holiday when this pretty much I was in South Africa already when we were here, so I didn't check the charts at all at that moment in time. But yeah, that's just the triangle. I don't know. I don't like to give. It's difficult for me to have a triangle as a high probability because of A. Yeah. Okay. What do we have then? So we finish 4. So that would mean probably he has this on the chart. So we can't see this, but this would be my guess based on the chart that he has. This white 4 is probably connected to this 2 here. So you have your 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you already go up in your 5. So that would be my guess. Let me do a time thing here. Flip time from the high to the low. Okay, it passed the 1-to-1, so it is longer. At least if wave 2 would start here. Else it is definitely shorter. Yeah, even shorter than the 382, which is not preferred. Okay, so that's interesting as well. I'll check go up. I'll check. Okay. And then we have 1, 2 in blue. I mean, your wave 1 and your 2 can be quite big, as this double 1, 2. This was a double 1, 2. Was also quite okay. It is a very big 1, 2 though, for the same degree. Because the blue count is the lower degree count. So this blue 1 and blue 2 are the same degree as the ranges you see here, are the same degree as what you see here as well. So this was 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we lift off, right? 1, 2. You see what I mean? And this is also 1, 2, but this 1, 2 is a lot bigger in size compared to the previous 1, 2. So this wouldn't be my favorite scenario. And if we take a fib time from the low to the high and we double click. Okay, so we are approaching the 4 fib time for wave 2, making it a long corrective structure. So we definitely want to move down in 5 before hitting the 5 fib time, which is next week, Friday, the 19th of April. That's still some time. But this wave 2 starts to be quite long. Now, in this scenario, it's very simple that GZ head, you don't want to touch the 618. You want to have at least one more low here in this scenario. Okay. Second scenario. That's not a truncation. It took 3 high. Oh, I don't know which one you mean. Which I just see it. Stuba. Which you mean this one that he had? He had the one on here. I like to put it here. Yeah, he wrote truncation. I saw you talking to GZ. This one, yeah. It took. It's just a flat. Yeah. Oh, here. Oh, yeah. A, B, C, of some sort. Yeah. Yeah, I saw you reacted to his posts as well. Okay. So I will check chat in a second and also Discord, Goa. But let me quickly check here. So then we have here, oh, this is the regular flat, so we can be very quick here. This is the regular flat scenario that I already spoke about, A, B, C, right? And it's just that his B is different. So he has a triangle in B, right? Where you then have W, X, Y. Your W is very short compared to your X, though. So that's again, it's a bit of a time thingy for me here. W, X, Y. I think that's X, yes. Oh, that's a very big X. Oh, yeah. Whoa. 18. Yeah, it's 18 to 19 times the size of W. Yeah. So yeah, okay. I from an Elliott wave perspective, that's very out of proportion for me. And in the triangle, there's a lot of white space here as well. But okay, yeah. So that's the result is the same. It's just the subwave of his B is different. I would count it differently in the I would prefer the double zigzag because of the time of X against W. But the result is the same, and then you look for 1 2 1 2 3 4 5. Yes. So, and then again, same here in this scenario, 618. You don't want to hit it. So it's actually the 618 has great importance, as you see, right? And then the final one where he has 3 4. Oh, this is the big triangle, but then his A starts here, A B C D, and you already go for E. So that is A B C D E. Sorry for this one. Up. Where D is a WXY, is it? Yes, with again the triangle. I'm not a big fan of that triangle in here. Not gonna lie. Because it's so big. But yeah, I like the scenarios and I like the thinking, but this wave A is a pain in the ass for me. Compared to B, C, D, and even E is so big, and then A is like one candle, which proportion-wise is not something I like to see, of course. Yeah, not preferred. So that's why with the triangle I have on my chart, that's why I started here. It's just for that reason. I don't like this A because of the proportion between the waves. One candle versus very big subdegree other candles. However, in the conclusion is pretty much right, and thanks GZ for sharing as well, because I always like to see people thinking differently, and we can always learn something. And what we learn from these scenarios, right, is that JZ with every scenario is still looking for a drop, which therefore means you don't want to hit the 618. Don't look at this wick because that's a scam wick on my chart, right? Coinbase. So that is an important level, 68.9K, right? 69K. That's an important level here. Okay. Very nice. Goat, you shared something somewhere. Truncation. This is Stuba. And then ABC. 0.5, 68.8. Yeah. Truncation, of course, is rare, but go. So we are actually still doing analysis. That's why I didn't yet put the pinned comment there. What do we have? W or A, X or B, Y or C? Yeah, ooh, shit, I have a wound there. I would label it ABC. And the reason is that I don't like a double zigzag with X above W. I mean, I don't know. It's not a thing. Because so I would label it ABC with a 5 waver. Else I would count it differently compared to a WXY double zigzag. Because in a sideways double combo, a sideways WXY, you can't have wave W and wave Y being a zigzag. A WXY double zigzag is a sharp corrective structure where we want X to not go above the 0.7 Fibonacci, which of course it did. So therefore I would prefer to count it as an A, B, and then a wave C. But of course for a wave C, we don't want to hit the 618. We want to see strong continuation. Run 2, 1, 2, maybe another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, right? Yeah. What I always love about your charts is how clean they are. I think that's it looks so nice. Very good. And here it's the same. Wave 4, right? Not allowed to hit this level here. We are looking for continuation to the downside. Yeah. What's this? Yo. Okay. Yeah. We started min 17. Thanks, Mark. Yeah. So elevated analysis at 17. Oh, by the way, I want to add something to the analysis of GZ, which is a good point. It has to do with, thanks for the bumps, guys. Pin message. It has to do with this section here, which he counts as a zigzag internally. And that is where the different scenarios come in, A, B, C. That's how he counts this. And if you want to count this as a zigzag, it of course changes the whole thing. So that is why he also has a triangle here, so that you can have a zigzag here. I like, I suppose, a bit more like simple thinking. If this is a zigzag, yeah, there's just not many options. WXY, but then what is that part of? WX. Oh no, wait, you can't. ABC. Yeah, okay. Just a little bit of puzzling here. WXY. ABC. Yeah. WXY. ABC, but yeah, you just expect one more low. Yeah, that would be my. So I don't like the triangles here. So I would then go for that WXY, WX flat in Y. You're not allowed to hit the 618 on my chart. In that case, if you want to count this as a zigzag. We can't count it ABC. So we can only have WXYs or WXYXZ. However, in a WXYXZ, WY or Z is only allowed to have one zigzag and the others have to be different structures. And here we would have W and Y, both a zigzag and potentially Z. And that's not allowed unless you have a triple zigzag. But for a triple zigzag, we want a sharp corrective structure. WXYXZ, you want to move down, not sideways. So yeah, I would prefer the WXY in that case. Okay. I like the thinking though. I love original ideas, out of the box thinking. I like it. I like it. What else did I need on my chart? This is it, no? We good. Okay, cool. Poof. What's up, everyone? I'm back. I'll quickly scroll up here, see what's up. If there's a must answer. I don't know the state of XRP. Focusing on Bitcoin in this stream, but we will do a altcoin stream once a month. I'm planning it now. I got to think about what day I want to use. Already bonjour. Bonjour, comment ça va? About the 886. Yeah, okay, so short, the 886, why that is important. Oh wait, you spoke about the last scenario. Yeah, I mean it's the same info. 1 second. So if you would look, so in an expanding flat, oops, right, where you move up for the green B, messy chart here, but you're looking for ABC in the last leg. So that's what we're looking for, right? In that scenario at least. And the 886 is a common target for wave B. It's a rare target for a wave 2. So therefore, if price would move to the upside now and take this high, the probabilities are higher for an ABC and a move down. Of course, if price moves up, you first want to see proof of resistance. You want to see weakness. You're not going to randomly short in a bull market, hopefully, right? But that is what the 886 represents. And I prefer to use it here with this one, because this one is taken from this high to the low. And the 886, again, rare for 2, common for B or X, right? Increasing the probabilities that any move to the downside after an 886 touch is a corrective structure, either in a C or a Y, which therefore means that after CY, you expect to move up again. Because if you have corrective structures, you expect continuation of the trend, right? So if you have an impulse to the upside and your first move down looks more corrective than impulsive and probabilities are higher for a corrective structure, you can range as long as you want, but you're going to be looking for the high to be taken. That's then the bias you're going to have as a trader from an Elliott Wave point of view. And when you then also hit the 886, 886 is like an extra confirmation. It just increases probabilities even more that what is happening here is all corrective. And even if you would take the low, you still expect price to move up after and continue the trend. So it increases probabilities on the higher time frames to continue in this case. But the 886 is also relevant at lower time frames, right? There are rare occasions where the 886 is hit and you do continue impulsively, but that is when a wave Y ends at the 886. But that's not a rare, or that's not a common feat. The last time that happened was here. I can even show you. So here in this range, this is where, that's the last time where we had that scenario. Oops. So here the 886 was touched, right? And we went off. And that was here, WXY or running flat ABC and a move towards the upside. That was the latest case. But that doesn't happen often. It's very rare for that to happen, yeah. Thanks, John. Sneaky kill, what's up? Basically, we hit below 60k, we're going down, but if we bounce back at 60, we're going to the moon. 62k. I mean, 62k is, there is a support level there, absolutely, which I have here, right? The blue box between 62.9, 61.8. That's an interesting support area. And in both cases, right? Yes, there are, of course, there are scenarios where you bounce here and you move up. In that case, we want to see proof of support, right? Price moving down, holding here, bit of a range, maybe wick the lows of the range, move up, Maybe you want to see RSI, MACD, CVD divergences, market structure change, whatever you're looking for. And then you look for a continuation to the upside, yes. Either in a triangle, of course, or just full continuation. Triangle would be this, and then, but you don't want to see the low taken later. So, yeah. And by the way, below 62k, yeah, you expect the low of 60k to be taken. And of course, you can drop deeper, but on the high time frame, you still expect price to move up because the wave 4 target area, right, it's so big. You have more than this so far is a very shallow retracement on the higher time frame. It's only 20%. With regards to the complete target zone that you have in a wave 4, which is much bigger as shown in the beginning of the analysis. So even if you would lose this level and go below 60k, yeah, no problem. Probabilities on the weekly don't change with that. We also have some support to the downside. We have a weekly gap here as well, besides, of course, the wicks. Losing the high of the gap, and we look for the low of the gap, but that's still fine, even for a wave 4. But currently 53K based on local structures is not yet something that we are looking for at the moment. What's up, Power Meat? How are you doing? Good to have you here once again. Cheers, Hermsy. I believe it will spike down, which would also give better probability for a new high. Yeah, as mentioned in the analysis, right, I prefer to wait for the range, but at the moment it looks a bit more corrective, no? It's a long sideways. This is a very long sideways range. If this would be a double 1, 2, then your second wave 2 here is very long now. What am I? 1 second. Almost hitting the 4. Only like when you hit the 5, that's when probabilities really tank. The 4 is already very long though, but we didn't yet hit it. We will hit it tonight though, by the looks of it. And this it looks like a 3 wave. Arguably, if this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but we have that wick. So let me quickly have a look at another chart. Oh yeah, here we didn't take the high, didn't take the high, didn't take the high, didn't take the high. So yeah, it looks more 3 wavy, looks more corrective at the moment, increasing probabilities to sooner or later take the low. This move up was okay-ish. Something that also I completely forgot to talk about this with regards to probabilities. If we look for an impulse to the downside, so you can see the volume here, right? A wave C can end on high volume. Actually, a wave C tends to do so. But in an impulse, that's why the 618 is here as well. This is wave 3 behavior. So in an impulse, you want to see a 4 and a 5. So when you see this, the probabilities are higher to continue an impulse, in this case to the downside, because of the volume, unless you hit the 618. Clear invalidation, no? Leading diagonal as a wave 1, but that would now be an expanding diagonal. So if you would look for a leading diagonal, right, I think you mean this, then now it's going to be an expanding structure. 1 second, by the looks of it. Yeah, because we touched the low of the channel, and an expanding diagonal is very rare. And therefore never preferred, so not really something we want to look at unless all the other stuff fails. Yeah, so that's correct. Yeah, hey Koens, nice to see that brain juice. What's up, Andrew B? How you doing, man? Brain juice. I love to share. Nice. Sherry. Signor gives 6 to 7 scenarios. No, so in a nutshell, right? Silver are the short-term updates, and where I always share scenarios in between videos, or if I don't show certain scenarios in videos, I tend to at least share them in silver so people know about. But silver is like updates in between, like during the day, what I'm looking at, CVD, those type of things, talk about probabilities in between the content. And also before a video is online, before I start recording, I write a whole summary in silver. And in gold, that's the Elliott Wave course, right? That's just all my brain in the content. So yeah, people finish that easily in 1 month, and then they go silver, diamond, or they quit. And then diamond is focused on helping people build a strategy according to the 6 steps that I always mention, right? Because if you want to be a long-term profitable trader, I recommend to have a strategy. I mean, I have a plan or a strategy, but there are 6 steps. And in Diamond, we work on these 6 steps in detail. So not as like what I usually explain on streams, but there's a lot of detail. I share files and stuff. And also my strategy besides Elliott Waves, obviously. My day trading strategy is also in there for people to learn if they're interested in learning my way of trading. So people can learn my strategy that I use for day trading, as Elliott Waves is more swingy. And they can also develop their own. And there's tools in there, Excel sheets, PDFs, all that stuff is in there. And I do share what I do with my trading. So I share when I enter or that sort of stuff and how I manage things. But that is not that's not diamond actually. That's just I like to share with the guys. So with like if there's a setup or whatever, Elliott Wave setups as well as trading main strategy setups. But the goal is that people then learn my strategy, and then they can also trade it for themselves if they want to trade what I do. And with Elliott Waves, with Elliott Wave setups and trades, I just share them so people are informed. But it's not what Diamond is about. It's about educating yourself to develop a strategy, or you can use an existing strategy which is proven to work based on data, years of data. And also, if you would ask any of the diamonds, especially the ones that collect their statistics, you'll notice by their statistics that we're doing very, very nice with the day trading strat. Let me actually quickly show you. So Jarvis is one of those guys that loves collecting stats. There you go. And of course, the strategy that I have is developed on years of data. So the data you see, even though the numbers are low, don't forget that it's constant. It's already years of data before this. This is just the newest tweak of the strategy that we track. So there's 6 steps, right, to build a strategy and give you a high probability of being consistently profitable. Step 1, try as many free tools as you can, right? Build experience in the market with the free tools, try them out, especially TradingView, use the indicators, use the tools. Step 2, find your favorites, build statistics on them. Step 3, combine your favorites, some of them at least, based on good statistics. And then build data on the combination. Now you're building a strategy. Step 4 is to add a tool, build statistics, remove a tool, build statistics, see what it does to your win rate and risk to reward ratio. Step 5 is start trading your strategy with low money, work on your trading psychology, because you can have an amazing strategy, but if you can't trade it, there's a problem. Step 6 is upping your portfolio size slowly so you can get used to the losses, bigger losses, because getting used to bigger winners is easy. And I've gone through all of these steps. And then once you get a strategy that's profitable, which I already have for a long time, then you always stay in step 4, which pretty much is constant tweaking, adjusting. And the last tweak that I did was in October. So that is why the statistics I've just shown start from November. Connection today here is terrible. Mobile connection. Where can we talk buys? Not sure if I know what you mean, but feel free to ask a question or at least talk about it. What happens if it does hit 69K? If you hit 69K, the probabilities are low that this is an impulsive structure to the downside. Probabilities increase. This is a 3-wave move, therefore probabilities increase to take the high. The best example I can show you, just so you know, is this one here. We were live. The reason I also remember this is it was the craziest stream I've had so far. We had 550 whatever people watching here. So here we were moving to the downside very, very quick. And same old. We moved down very quick. I say wait for a range to form. I had the 618 on my chart here. And the same message was If we're looking for a wave 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're not allowed to hit the 618, which is the red line. I made it a little bit big. What did price do? Hit the 618, range, and eventually we moved up. So it's a probabilities thing. The moment you hit it, invalidates a wave 4, and naturally, therefore, the impulse to the downside doesn't have the highest probability anymore. You're going to be looking towards the upside. Only in a diagonal can a 618 be hit and still make a low in a wave 5. But that is not yet what we're looking for here. So that is what happens when you hit it. Hope your wife arrived well and is over the jet lag. Well, actually, it was the same time zone, so you know that was good. But she arrived well. She actually slept more than she expected, and she watched Harry Potter. It's nice movies, though. It's nice movies. She wants to do a Harry Potter binge watch. So I mean, I'm game. You know, I don't mind. I like the movies. I watched them already, all of them, and she did as well in the past. But Flotty, are you hiding? Is Flotty hiding? Or someone else is pressing that button? We're in the same time zone. Yes, exactly. Sarega, can you show target wave 5 green on the high time frame bull scenario? What can we expect if it will be a regular flat now? I can, of course, for the sake of showing. So then you're talking about this one. So I answer your question as it is. First, I show you the target of a normal wave 5 and then the extended wave 5. There's a big difference there. Okay, if you have an impulse, for everyone also interesting, I suppose, bit educational. If you have an impulse, there is 4 ways to find a wave 5 target. I prefer to use the fibs, but I'll also show you the channel. So the first one is you take a normal fib from the end of 3 to the end of 4. Now you are talking about a regular flat. So if we would go down, then the target of a regular flat is somewhere around here. All right, and then I do this wave 5, and then this is target 1. Let me put the price on as well. Now keep it, yeah, okay. I'll answer the question as it is. So that's target number 1. Target number 2 is a 0.618 trend-based sub-extension from the low to the high of 3 to the low of your wave 4, which again is somewhere over here. Then we have the 1-to-1 of wave 1 to the low of your wave 4. And then finally, which is the one I never use, you can have a channel. So yeah, where's your 1? You know, it's still not fully clear. But you can take a channel from, oh wait, I'm messing it up. You take a channel from the low of 2 to the low of 4, wherever that low is going to be, but must be somewhere here. And then to the high of your 1, not your 3. And then you want your wave 5 target is the high of the channel. But I don't like diagonals, and I never use that. That's a personal preference. So now your target area for 5 is pretty big. Is this. Okay. Pop, 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 pop. And then we have for an extended wave 5, we take a trend-based fib from the low to the high of 3 to the low of your 4, potential end of your 4. Toggle on the 1.618, 1 second, where is it? Wave 5, extended target, the 1.618, but we are on a log scale, so we need to change it to log, and then it's all the way at 350K. By the way, if you want to know more about this, check out this website. It's in the description, not affiliated. It's just a public free website where you can find, it's actually a very good website where you can find info about Elliott waves and the extended 5th wave. Where is it? Oh, there you go. So here it is. If you want more information, you can read about it here as well. So here's your target, right? The 1.618 taken from the low to the high of 3 to the low of wave 4. And that would be your target. 350K in that case. So there you go. You can check it out. there's about 1.3 billion in liquidation sitting at 71.700. Okay, that would just be above the highs there. On the monthly time frame, but I don't know why would we use, maybe because the previous monthly candle closed here, that you look at the monthly. I would prefer zooming in to see better what is at 71,700. That's the double top, no? What's 71? It's pretty much this area, which is above the double top we have. Makes sense with regards to liquidity, yeah. By the way, Tibetan, where you're from? Tibetan monk. More the Asian side? I'm using the coin glass side. I see. Yeah, you have the like heat maps or a light. What's that? Trading light, coin glass. Of course, you can use heat maps in a way as well. Bitcoin is dropping. I would say Bitcoin is just ranging. Of course, you have price moving up and down, but it's a weekend range. We don't expect too much action in the weekend. But the most important level is on the chart, which is this one here. If you touch this, probabilities become higher for upside. As long as you don't touch that, probabilities are higher to move down. It's just that's the way it is at the moment. Currently here locally, we only have, it's still a very short range, so very fresh. There's not too much info yet inside this range. If this would be a 1-2-1-2, then preferably you drop below this at a certain moment. We have a small little order block candle here, by the way. That would be my main area of support on the 15-minute. Probably close to the 786 as well. Golden pocket. Oh, that's even better. So yeah, interesting area of support. This one here, 66.5, 66.7. Golden pocket is right at the bottom of this one, so that's good confluence. Actually, let me keep this on. I like that. Extend right. There we go. And above us, we have a support resistance area as resistance as well. And of course, we have the order block. And that is where we are at the moment. Right, we're hugging. Oh, not lock. We're hugging this order block here. Right. So the more often you test resistance, though, the weaker it becomes. But yeah, let's just be patient here. See what the weekend's giving us. Which pretty much answers this question. Look, we're in the weekend. Most common in the weekend is a range, and yeah, you can just range here. Right, we have support here, we have resistance here. Yeah, there's not much else that's to add. Usually there's not too much action. So yeah, but welcome Stephen. Stephen Speaks. How you doing? How you doing? Mark. We welcome everyone. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Cool. Do you have a guide on trading? A guide on trading. I mean, in a way, it depends what you mean. The wick is a scam wick. Don't focus on the wick. Yeah. I don't give trade setups in silver. No. In diamond, I do talk about setups. And I do have something exciting coming up when we hit 10K. So, but that is something I can't yet talk about. But free Hamad, yeah. So a guide on trading kind of like depends if you're looking at, okay, how do I build a strategy, or is it more how do I trade, as in like the technicals, like buying, selling, position sizing, you know. But with regards to building a plan, the 6 steps I usually mention on stream, that's the plan, and it's in a lot more detail in Diamond, where I have the files and I share all sorts of stuff. But the 6 steps in that case to build a trading plan, which I recommend very much. It's just unfortunate that many people don't want to build statistics because it's boring, it's not trading, you know, you're not actively involved while building statistics, maybe. I mean, depends, but it's hard work, takes a long time, people quit. But if you really want to, in my opinion, be successful, statistics is a must. So then step 1 is try as many free tools as you can, preferably in TradingView, because you know so many tools in here, but you can also use free softwares outside of TradingView. Step 2, find your favorites and build statistics on 1 second. Find your favorite tools, build statistics on them. Step 3 is adjust and tweak. No, that's wrong. Step 3 is combine some of your favorite tools that did well with the individual statistics. Now you combine them, build statistics on the combination. Now you're building a strategy. Step 4 is tweaking and adjusting. Add a tool, remove a tool, see what it does with these statistics. Step 5 is start trading the strategy, right? Based on your statistics, you already have entry requirements as well, because your statistics are translated into entry requirements, which you'll find out. Then you start trading it with a low amount of money and work on trading psychology. And then step 6 is you start to increase your budget. So yeah, Sherry, Diamond is where I talk about setups and also with what I do with Elliott Waves, but that's not the goal of Diamond. So even if I would not do it in Diamond, the value of Diamond is still very much about strategy development and my way of trading. But when we hit 10K subscribers, I do have a surprise. I have no clue on how to use algorithms and reading and analyzing charts. Algorithms are not necessary to trade. I don't use any algorithm, so you don't have to have that information to trade. But reading and analyzing the charts, that is what starts in step 1 of the 6 steps I just mentioned. So it all starts with testing out the different tools in TradingView if you want to experience the chart. And you can find so much info about trend lines, about channels, about volume profile online as well. I also have a video on my YouTube channel about volume profiles, by the way, in the educational playlist. So much info about Fibonacci's, and else you can always ask me during live streams, like, hey, how do I use a Fibonacci, right? I'm happy to explain. But step 1 in building a strategy and eventually becoming a consistently profitable trader is building that experience, building experience with the different tools, know how to use them, and then you will figure out very quickly what you like using and what you don't like using. Why do you not trade Forex as well when you have a very good knowledge of Elliott Waves and the Forex market is much smoother with the look of the charts? Good question. Oh, by the way, short... it's me, Fuddy. We only focus on Bitcoin in this live stream. Once a month I do an altcoin stream. I'm actually planning the next one because it's going to be a returning thing. I did it once. Many people liked it, so I'll do it more often. But good question, David. I started in the markets with Bitcoin. It was the first thing I encountered. That's how I kind of rolled in. And that's kind of like where I stuck, I suppose. And with regards to profit and time, focusing on one asset is what I prefer. So it's not that I don't like Forex or don't see the opportunity, but I'm good in counting Elliott Waves on Bitcoin. And time-wise, Elliott Wave analysis takes a lot of time, and I like to focus on one asset in particular. So that is why with Elliott Waves, I only trade Bitcoin actually, pretty much. So I prefer the less is more in this case, yeah. I guess that's my explanation. So for me, the Bitcoin chart is, I don't know anything different. For me, it's a very smooth chart. Of course, we have wicks like this, but this is a scam wick. If I go to other charts, that this wick is not there, so that's no problem. I don't take it into account. So I should actually just, what I should actually do is I should actually do this. Oh, there we go. Let me actually do this, but then in another color. Maybe blue. Oh, that's fine. I see. Yeah. No problem. It's a good question, David. It's a great question. So, now, like with regards to if Bitcoin is ranging, I would probably first go. So I only trade Bitcoin, but if I would go to other charts, I would still stick in crypto at the moment. I would go to Ethereum or Solana or I don't know other charts, but I don't actually trade these assets. I've tried a bit, but I prefer focus. I don't know. I like focus. So Vinod, that's correct. It's like a scam wick. You don't have to pay attention to it. It's just I don't use it in my analysis. So yeah, you can have more trading opportunities when Bitcoin is stuck in an ugly range. But actually, I also like ranges. Not gonna lie. Sometimes the range is not too clear, of course, but yeah. Yeah, I'm focused on one asset, I suppose. It's a good question, but yeah, I never really discovered others. And time-wise, with how I want to balance my lifestyle, focusing on one asset with Elliott Waves and my day trading strat works the best for me. Yeah. What is the best strategy for Bitcoin? This is actually a very personal question because a strategy, so this is how I see it, how I say it. My strategy is a reflection of my personality. And what I mean by that is that a strategy in like the tools you use, the frequency of your trades, what type of trader you are, all depends on you as a person. So there is not one best strategy for Bitcoin, as someone else's strategy might not work for you because you might not be patient enough or you might be too patient. The setups are too low time frame, too high time frame, right? The stop loss is too close for comfort or it's too far away. There's many different, maybe the setups don't work in your time zone. Maybe you have a full-time job and you miss them all the time. So building a strategy means that you can create something that is fully focused on your lifestyle. And that is why building your own strat is so efficient. What people, of course, look for is they look for the golden solution, the one thing that makes them from a big-ass loser to a big-ass winner. There is no such thing, right? Even with my strategy and Diamond, people still have to learn it. It still takes time to learn, implement. It's very easy, not gonna lie, it's a very easy one, and they also say it. But it still takes time to learn, but I still recommend developing your own, as then you can completely adjust it to your lifestyle. So the best strategy for Bitcoin is your strategy. Whatever that strategy is going to be, which is not the answer you want to hear, of course, I can imagine, because you probably want to hear, use this, use that. But it depends on your preferences. So what I would start with, if I'm new, is pretty much what I've done myself, is start with getting an understanding of the tools, and don't focus yet on the Elliott Wave stuff. That's a lot. That's a lot of theory. That's very difficult. Start with the fibs. Start with the trend lines. Start to understand what patterns are. Start with channels. Start with the fixed range volume profile. Right. Start with those type of things. Is there anything else I like? Maybe the pitchfork. Right. Learn how to use a pitchfork. Don't go into this stuff. Right, it's not it's also difficult, like knowledge. You can skip on GAN as well in the beginning. You could go over harmonics. Maybe you like harmonics. Elliott Waves is very detailed. Harmonics is easier because it's just less information. VWAP as an indicator can be interesting as well. So those would be the things that I would start with, and build experience with those tools. And then when you find tools that you enjoy using, build statistics. Now Fibonacci, so for myself, everything I use on my chart, everything you see in the video is what I use in my trading, in the content. But that is my... those are the tools that I like to use, right? So some people like to use heat maps and all sorts of other stuff. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not an ICT trader. I mean, so I have watched some of his videos because I am a curious person. I love to learn. So I saw some of his videos, made some notes. But oh man, the videos are so long. It's actually very tough to not fall asleep. Like the core content can be brought to you in 5 minutes, but this guy is making an hour-long video. I'm like, why? Are you doing it for the ads, or what are we doing? Like, what the fuck? Like, just tell your shit in 5 to 10 minutes and then hop's done, But yeah, some people make that work. But same with ICT. You still need to learn it. You still need to understand it. You still need to trust it. You still need to make it your own. What time frame are you going to use, right? Are you going to use the 5 min? Are you going to use the 4 hour? There's still so much that comes with it, that it's all depends on you. So the best strategy on Bitcoin is not ICT. The best strategy on Bitcoin is also not my strategy. It's also not Elliott Waves. The best strategy is your strategy. And for some people, it's using that set of elements. For some, it's that. For some, it's that. Some people like exocharts or ATAS. Other people don't. Other people like, trading light, heat maps. But I don't. I don't use it. Some people like CVD or RSI, but so it's very personal. It's very personal. Where could I start learning about economics? I'm not a fundamental trader. So unfortunately, I'm not in a position to tell you. But I do use this just to know what news is coming up. It's called tradingeconomics.com. That's the website. And here you can see all the news, at least high impact news. Now, I don't know anything about what I'm looking at. I don't know what this means. I don't have interest in it as well. But what I care about is the time. Because I know that it's high impact news. I know it can influence volatility on the chart. And that's why I prefer to be safe and pay attention to price when we have news. So I maybe if there's people here that are trading with fundamentals, they have a better idea of what websites that you can use. But I am a technical trader. Of course, both can work, right? Like fundamental trading, technical trading, a combination of both. You can be very successful with both. Just look at the Market Wizards books as well, right? But yeah, I'm 100% technical. Yeah. Oh yeah, sometimes YouTube deletes if there's certain words, but I don't know how to trade it. I want to start learning, okay, microeconomics, yeah. So that would be fundamental trading, which is something that I personally don't use. because I use technicals. But learning how to trade, well, step one is being here. Right? You can ask questions, engage with communities, ask questions in communities. But learning how to trade, at least in crypto, if you talk about trading specifically, then look for tutorials on a BingX. That's the partner I have myself. Still actually have to make a video about that. But how do I use Bybit, BingX, Binance, whatever platform? That's, of course, the core of how do I trade. How do I press the buttons? What does it mean? But with regards to how to trade for me is, do I have a plan or a strategy? And a plan or a strategy is something you build, even with fundamental analysis, is something you build with the 6 steps that I explained earlier. So that's how to trade starts with, from a technical perspective, step 1 is, right, as mentioned, try all the free tools. Step 2, build statistics on your favorites. Step 3, combine. Step 4, adjust and tweak. Step 5, start trading, work trading size. I explained it earlier. From a fundamental point of view, step 1 could be look online for websites, right? Look online for news stuff. Step 2 is find your favorite websites, right? Step 3 is build some statistics on the news item and the reaction on the chart. Step 4 is maybe adding a new website or removing a website and see what it does. And then step 5, so it's like the same, but then fundamental approach, I suppose. Are you able to explain what is an order block and confluence? Confluence is when there are different tools lining up in one area. So just to show you as an example, you can see I have a couple of boxes. So let me open my folders here, right? So you can see that I have now many, if I do this, there's many lines on the chart, right? So what I look for is confluences. And here we have a daily naked point of control and a daily. And that also happens to be below a low over here, right? Interesting. So I highlighted that as an area of confluence with the target box. Now, if I go to the downside here, I have another one. So what you see here is a weekly, right? So this is just the tools I use, right? So a weekly, monthly naked point of control and a range point of control in this area over here, as well as a weekly order block, which I'll talk about because you asked about order blocks. So this is an area of confluence. There's multiple tools lining up in a certain area of price, which makes it a more interesting area of support or resistance. If there's only one tool or one horizontal line, is usually not as strong support or resistance. But if a couple of things line up quite close to one another, it increases the probabilities for a bounce or for support or resistance. And if we go to the weekly time frame, then on the weekly time frame, we have an order block. And there's, I know there's, I can find many, but let's use the most simple one because that's this one here. So that's an order block, right? So what happened? You have volume and big candles coming in. You have a bit of a break and you continue again. The best order block is an order block where the candle after moves impulsively away from the order block, right? Gives strength to the order block. So an order block is one block in the middle of a move or at the beginning of a move where price had a little break. It's a different color candle, if that makes sense. Now we also have order blocks locally, like this over here. This is a small order block. Price moving up, red candle continues towards the upside, right? On the 30-minute, this is an order block. We actually found resistance here right now, as you can see. So price moves down impulsively, little hit, little candle up, and then move down again. We start ranging. We hit this order block for the first time, rejection. Second time, rejection. Third time, rejection. Right. So it's an area of support or resistance. It's just, again, one of those things that you can use in your analysis. Yeah. Yo, what's up, Christian? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. I'm explaining. Elliott Wave is best for you. Yeah, I like Elliott Waves for like swingy trading. Swing trading. I like that. Like if you master it, you can be reading it like nobody else can. His entry models are so powerful. Yeah, I guess he developed his strategy, and there's a big audience that like his strategy, and everyone can try it out and see if it works for them. It's not something I like using. For me, reading the charts is Elliott Waves. So Elliott Waves gives me the insight of what price is doing. My strategy is also very simple in a way, and very clear entry requirements. Do you have regular time when you stream? It's morning, afternoon, evening. I don't have a set time. It usually depends on my planning, but in the morning the video is usually online around 8, I suppose. Afternoon streams this is Central European time. Afternoon streams are usually at like 2 or 3 p.m. But today it was later. I started at 5 because I was working in the garden and stuff. And I picked up my wife at the airport. And then the afternoon or the evening video is usually 7, 8 p.m. I guess. That's the most common, at least. I think we have an ICT user here. I am not saying that you can learn ICT in a short time. What I'm saying is that his videos are so full of shit you don't have to know, instead of just getting to the point. Oh yeah, people are stealing my my order block. I was the first thinker of all that. Like, that's not necessary. Just get to the point. Explain me the stuff, and then I'll take it from there. Like some videos so I've seen videos. I've been there. I've clicked, but some of those or actually most of those videos are so long, while the core content can be explained in a 10-minute video. And it's not about learning ICT quick or slow. It's about the content in the video, where he talks a lot. He says a lot of the things double, talks a lot about other people stealing my stuff. Like, yeah. So that is what I had a problem with when I was watching his videos. Doesn't mean it doesn't work, because it can surely work. Of course. I mean, it works. For some people it works. For other people it doesn't work. That depends on the trader and the style. But it's just that the content is quite difficult to get through. Videos are unnecessarily long when I look at them, and that for me was I think it's interesting because I'm curious, so I do love to learn new things, and I saw some of the stuff that he does, but it's not easy to get through that content. But I do agree. It's just a night like ICT. It's just a certain strategy. It's not new what he says with regards to gaps and stuff. It's just explained in a nice way for people to understand. And he does give his own twist, right? He has his own way of entering or exiting or looking for certain positions, which is helpful. But in the end, of course, it could have been there. I'm sure that other traders would have traded in a similar way, but they don't have a YouTube channel or made videos or whatever. But he found his favorite tools, he combined them, built a strategy, and it works. And then it's about doing some good stuff on YouTube as well. But it is proven to work in his hands. Of course, you also have the people that can't make it work. But does news tend to ruin high probability trades, or does it tend to follow with your analysis? Well, I mean, with regard to Elliott Waves, it aligns with probabilities and with my trades, with my day trading strategy. I trade statistics. So whenever there's a setup, and I trade the setup pretty much. Yeah. So even if there's news around the setup, I would still take it. So I have never measured the impact of news, as I just have the general statistic. But yeah, usually news doesn't influence the statistics. My comments are not posted. It depends on some of the words you use, I suppose. You can also, in between words, like use dots, or I've been using this concept compared to other strategies. But that is good. Look, you found your way of trading, David, which of course is a good thing. And if it works for you, then that is important. But yeah, I have my own way of trading. It's a different way of trading. But I do like learning new things. And what he has done for many people is, of course, very good, which is nice. And there's also many different setups with ICT. So if you just focus on, let's say, one setup, it's actually quite easy and quite quick to learn. But there's so many different ways of setups and all that stuff. That's where it becomes difficult. But the general idea of, I take the liquidity, I move down, break market structure, get back in the gap and continue, entry, stop loss, and then TP. And that's a very easy explanation, of course, of a 10-hour long video. But that's the easy part. But then there's so many little things that you can add or change, and that's where the complexity comes in. Yesterday we were looking for a 4 and a 5 down. Do you think the 4 is now getting too long in time? It's not yet too long in time, but the 4 would change. This would be your 1 in an expanding structure, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not yet invalid. This 2, or is it? Is it now? Earlier we checked it and it wasn't yet. 1 second here. Let me make it extra long. And yeah, we are now at the 5. So preferably your 4 is now finished. I mean, the 5, of course, the 6, I have the 6 on my chart here. So that would be 6 here. That's tonight. But yeah, preferably then your wave 4 would be finished and you continue wave 5 to the downside if you compare it against this 2. But it is weekend. So if we continue ranging here, then this wave 4 is going to be measured against this one. So it just goes up a degree pretty much, even though it's an expanding structure. Knowing Elliott Wave would help ICT a ton. He's the first to admit that his weakness are TP targets. Elliott Wave is gold. Yeah, Elliott Wave would be a nice add, I suppose. In other words, there shouldn't need to be a competition between ICT. No, exactly. Where are you from? I'm from the Netherlands. His ego. Yeah, I don't mind his work. His work motivation. What's that? His work drive. His drive and his passion. But naturally, people are gonna have twists on the way you trade. And yeah, I don't know. It's you probably, I guess, also with how big he is, and also before he started posting it all online, you kind of know it will come, that people are going to use things. But also order blocks. I'm the one that found order blocks. I'm like, there's probably 100 others, that you never heard of that also used it. But it's just that the way. So it's not about the order block. It's just that ICT trading and what he built and packaged, that is the way he trades, right? That's his strategy, and that's something that he can own in a way. Yeah. But yeah, the general tools, I think that's general knowledge. When the following move broke through a higher time frame, liquidity target was slowing down. Oh, yeah, I use this differently, but this is, yeah, there's a nice alternation, I suppose, on what you use as a order block. I don't know, maybe that's ICT's way of saying it, but I use order blocks different. Yeah. Yeah, Stuba. Hey, Kun. Yo, what's up, NL Koala Gamer? It's been a time, yeah. Wow, it's been months. How are you? Playing games, gamer. No, I'm doing very well. Cheers. In the meantime, got married, was gone for a month. Back into Elliott Waves and videos and almost approaching 10k subscribers, which of course is absolutely ridiculous. I don't know where we are now, by the way. I haven't checked the analytics. Where are we now? We are at 9,407. 8. Who's the one that clicked the button? Thanks for clicking. Okay, so we passed the 9.4k now. Holy shit. That's crazy. The comments not removed, it's probably YouTube due to a certain word. So scammers use certain words, and I ban the words that scammers use the most that are not often used by people. But it can happen that you may use a word that usually scammers would use and it doesn't appear. The lower the time frame, the more impact news has. If you want this one, yeah, higher time frames do help. So are we getting a wave 5? As long as this red line 68.9k isn't hit, probabilities are higher to continue the local trend. This is your invalidation, 68.9k. What's up, George? How you doing, eh? George. Yo, good to have you here. Welcome. How's your Saturday? Like, what, guys, what did you do today? What have you done? I picked up my wife from the airport, worked in the garden, cut all the bushes and the trees and stuff. I like working in the garden. Visited my neighbor as well, had a little chat, and then I went live on YouTube. That was my day. How's your day been? What have you been up to? Thanks, Koala Gamer. Party in South Africa? Yep. Well, you remembered. Yep. Nice memory. Correct. The ceremony was in Cape Town, South Africa. That is where we hired a complete wine farm, and then that is where we had the ceremony. Yeah, that was great. Family and friends. My family and her family seeing each other for the first time in the week before the wedding as well, which was great. So very nice click. Yeah, really nice. As for you, it will go up or down. That's an answer on chat, I suppose. George, I took my boys to one of those jungle robes tumblings place with also arcade and laser tag. Nice. Oh man, do you participate? So this is interesting. I have a question. Do you participate in these activities, or do you not? You stay on the sidelines. Like when I go to a place with nieces or whatever, I can't be the adult sitting on the side. I'm like this guy that goes in, you know. I like to play and jump around and all that stuff. Yeah, that's what I like to do. They shut the hell out of me. Yeah, as they should. Yeah, those little ones, they're agile, they're quick, agile, and they're small. That helps. Yeah, that is where being an adult doesn't make life easy. Jeroen, working on a project and work. You're driving around in your Mercedes Vito van? Vito, Mercedes Vito van. Driving around, delivering the packages. Working on a project. I wonder what it is. Yeah. Yeah. So, Koala Gamer, what have you been up to past couple of months? I went Thought Drifter. I went for a long walk run on the beach. That's very nice. Where do you live? Not like, like what country, city, barefoot and ocean first time this year. First 20-degree day of the season. Sounds like Europe. Yeah, the beach. I like the beach. I like being, having a look over the or I like going towards my English. I like going to the ocean. I like the beach as well. I prefer sand beaches over the stone beaches. East Coast Canada. Okay, no, okay, East Coast Canada, sure, other side of the world. And there's me saying, "Hey, could that be Europe? You know, first day, 20 degrees," and we're like, "Well, actually, that's what we have as well." So, but yeah, Canada, 20 degrees, that's nice. Shediak NB. Why are we dropping like crazy? I mean, it's just it's a very small move, what we have here. This is, of course, this is nothing yet. 1%, almost 2%. But people selling, absorption, you know. Move to the downside when you take the low, or when you hit the 886 Fibonacci taken from the low to the high. Oh, the alts, I see. Why are we dropping like crazy at the moment? All alts. Oh, I see. What are the alts doing? Oh, today's discount. What is this? I don't need that. Ponke, Tia, okay, and oh, Ponke and Tia, the only ones in profit. The rest is just negative. That's crazy. Nice. Oh, this is actually a lot cleaner. Folding this down instead of having this up. I don't need it anyway. I don't even use it. Mark likes the beaches too. Leiden. Misschien in the buurt. When is the... Yeah, so can it be another dip and then upwards again? Yes. But we want to see, of course, some proof of support. So we have this little order block. And also the golden pocket is quite close. But that is about it in that area. So golden pocket always important. We're also like, it's a weekend day. The weekend is famous for its ranges. Highest probability is that in the weekend we go sideways, and we are just ranging here throughout the weekend. That's usually the highest probability. And you know, as long as this level isn't, this is important. So the 618, 68.9K. If you hit that, probabilities turn around to the upside. So. And we just wait for this range, give us more information, see what structures are forming. At the moment, yeah, what's this? Let's have a look here. Okay, so we're at the 4 fib time. Bullish CVD, but yeah, I just very patient. This is my level of interest, or the low, and yeah, take it from there. Oops. And then just see what the weekend is giving us. Losing the golden pocket wouldn't be too great though. Like taking this low, and probably you'll take the next low as well. Hitting the 886, probability is much higher to go down. Talking about order blocks, I forgot who the one was that asked about order blocks, but you know, hit the order block, right? A little bit of a bounce. You can scalp those things. Where were we? We were go visit north of Sardinia, Italy. Pingax, the honeymoon that my wife and I are gonna have is gonna be a big road trip for a couple of weeks through Italy. probably next year, because we were gone already for a month and we didn't want to go immediately for another 3 weeks or whatever. So probably next year we're going to be gone for like 3 weeks road tripping in Italy, starting in the north and then move south. Yeah. So I don't know. She already made the whole plan. She got the whole agenda. I don't know if Sardinia is in there. Gotta ask her. Another 20%. Vector candle. As always, fun. What's up, Greg? How you doing? Good to have you here. Yesterday you said you need to see the same length as the wave 2 have been. And then you can give more information. So that's a time against the wave 4. Right? So if you have... So this is your 2, right? And if we are looking for a wave 4 against that wave 2, fib time, there to there to there, then now this starts to be very long for a wave 4, unless your wave 4 is already finished and you go down in a wave 5. But if we simply continue ranging, as it's already quite long, then this range goes up in a degree. So what then happens is this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 end. This is a finished impulsive structure. And this wave 4 is going to be matched against either this being a wave 2 or this, or this being a wave 2. And in all cases, this golden pocket is important. That's why this is the important level. If you hit this, probabilities go up to move up. If you hit it before taking the low, that is. So, because there is the potential, this is a 5 waver in an expanding diagonal structure. I didn't check the 3 minutes, but in like 3 minute time frame. But you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then your 5. Expanding structures, not preferred, but if this range gets too long, then in a bearish scenario, you're going to move it up in a degree. And general, what's important is simply the 618 to make it very simple. So probabilities are higher to move down unless you hit the 618, then probabilities switch to the upside. That is the invalidation, basically. So that's as simple as I can make it here locally. Yeah. So I guess that answers the question. Sardinia is great, Scala. I've been there more than two times. Okay, let me have a look. Up or down? Well, the Bitcoin goes 100% of the time to the right. Look, these type of questions, Sardinia, Italy. You can't really answer these, but I can. Oh, we write it as Sardinia. So with regards to your question, as I just mentioned, probabilities are higher to move to the downside unless you hit 68.9K. I'm not a financial advisor. You do you, but that is from a probabilities perspective, what is currently the highest probability to answer that question. However, that question is usually a sign that you do not have a plan nor a strategy, which means that it is very unlikely, if this is the way you trade by asking people online, it's very difficult to be a profitable trader long term. So what I would recommend, which is going to avoid you asking these questions, is build a strategy, which means step number 1, try as many free tools as you can. Step number 2, build statistics on some of your favorite tools. Step number 3, combine your favorite tools, build more statistics. Step number 4, tweak and adjust, add a new tool, remove a tool, build statistics. Step 5, start trading and work on your trading psychology. Step 6, up your portfolio. Follow these 6 steps. I guarantee you, first of all, you'll never ask questions of up or down. Second, you'll be a consistently profitable trader, trusting yourself and never others. What's up? Anyway, where were we? Oh, yeah, I see. Oh, I've never been there. Yeah, we don't have Italy on the plan. I mean, Sardinia. We are gonna start somewhere here and then like I don't know. I was in Sardinia for my honeymoon. Ah, look at you go. Italy, popular destination. Pingugs, where you ping UK. Are you from the UK? Ping UKS? Pingugs? I mean, probably European, I guess. But yeah, I mean, we also go to Italy, but then not the islands. At least that's not the plan, but you never know. I mean, we have the flexibility because we're both entrepreneurs. So if we're like, yeah, let's go for another week and just go to the island, and we just go to the island. Well, like we can go as long or short as we like. But I do like to work. So I also eventually I'm like, okay, it's been good. I want to go back. I want to get started again. Starts to itch. Bloop, 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 bloop. Gotta help. Yo, have a good one, Polar Bear, man. Thanks for hanging out. Mendotev. I guess this is, don't you think this is already an impulse down? Now wave 4 from the 3rd to C. Wave 4 from the 3 to the C. Oh, here, don't you? Yeah, potentially, yes. That is correct, but it's still the same probabilities as downside as a higher probability unless you hit the 618. Then it changes. So that's as easy as I can make it at the moment. So, and then if we do get a move down, then based on the structure to the downside and the impulsivity and how long it is and when we're going to start ranging again, that is when we can reassess probabilities of where we are in the impulse. Yeah. To the right, down. 20 times. Shit. Bro, I was asking your opinion, but thank you. I understand, but of course I get these questions a lot. But what I hope is that people also build a strategy. So I share as much information as I can with regards to the probabilities and the insights from an Elliott Wave point of view. And then I also hope that people, learn strategies as well, like try to work on themselves. We're still at the order block, eh? No. Come to India. Never been there. Would be very nice to visit someday. So, such a big country though. There's so much to see. I guess you got to start with a certain area, certain region. Yeah. You are from Italy. Lake Garda. I haven't heard my wife speak about this one. Where's that? Oh, it's Gardamere. Oh, yeah, we will visit this area. I didn't know it's called Lake Garda. For us, it's Gardamere. We will be here. We will be... Oh, that's cool. Wow, so you live here. Man, that must be so nice, no? Shit, man. No, I don't know if I scroll like this. Can I not use my... Hello? How do I go next? Only by clicking? That's stupid. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so sick. Gardamere. Ah. Man, that's incredible. You got a great place, man. We will visit. We will be here. This is on the plan. We will go to the Gardamere. So, yeah. It's on the agenda. Wait, where... Yeah, Lake Garda, yeah. Man, that's amazing. You live 15 minutes from the lake. Sure. That's amazing, eh? You can go to the lake. Like, what's the weather like there? Is it, I mean, it's on the same, it's like pretty much the same as, I guess, southern area of France, no? I mean, it should be pretty sunny during the year. Yeah, you got a very nice place, man. What vehicle do you drive on a road trip? We actually haven't booked anything yet, so we don't know. But as long as it has cruise control, preferably adaptive cruise control, which is what I like the most. Aircon, GPS, you know, just the basics. I'm good with anything. And it should fit our luggage. But yeah, we haven't yet checked cars and all that stuff. Lamborghini Urus. Abraham Tan, hi Koens, could you look at any altcoin? Just chatting at Q&A, focusing on Bitcoin. We're already live for 2.5 hours, so I also have to go pretty soon, not gonna lie. Yeah, 2.5 hours. But we will do an altcoin dedicated altcoin stream like we did in at the end of Feb. This one over here, 6.5 hours. 19 altcoins were analyzed here, so you can check that out, of course. But yeah, probably planning to do one a month because I do get frequent questions about it. Come to the Philippines, feel the heat. No, I can't. Like I like a nice 25, 30 degrees, that's fine. But let's say 20 to 30. If we go to 30, 35, then it depends on the area, right? If it's a mountain area, not high liquidity, high humidity, or if it's next to the ocean and you have the wind, but anything above is a pain, man. Jakarta is really nice. Yeah, I mean, I've never been there yet, but man, I look forward to visiting. Yeah. So I look forward to that, absolutely. Indonesia. I have been to Indonesia, actually. So I have been to Indonesia in 2016. I was in Indonesia. So I've been there. I went to Java, Bali, Lombok, Rinjani Mountain, hiked that one, great trip, and then the Gili Islands. Bitcoin has taken support. Yeah, it's currently at support, the order block here. Yeah. Hailstorms in Indonesia, you mean? Abruzzo in Italy, it's better than Garda. Oh, wow. Pinguix and Paola, you know, both Italian, I can imagine. Paola D'Antonio, Abruzzo. I see. Very hot summers. May is the best time to visit. Not too hot. Thank you. Okay, so springtime. Man, I already look forward now, eh? Man, such a beautiful environment, eh? And Abruzzo, where is Abruzzo? Where is this? Aha. I actually think we're gonna go here as well, because we also want to go past Rome, but we start on the eastern side. But of course, you're then talking about the beach, no? Because there's no, I don't see a lake here compared to the Gardamir. Have you ever been in Morocco? No, I haven't. No. The closest I've been to Morocco is Barcelona. So that's not, yeah, it's not very close. No, I've never been there. I was excited though. So I'm not really someone that watches football a lot. But when Morocco was doing well in the World Cup, man, I love underdog stories, man. That was great. I only travel to high liquidity areas. Exactly. That's what I like as well. I like that one. What's up, Birker? Mohsin Arami, are you from Morocco? Victor L, how you doing, Victor? Good to have you here. What's up? What's up? Will Bitcoin break support? Yeah, we can't look into the future, so it's still just hovering at support here, right? And it may, there's not too much info on the CVD as well. We did have a red candle here, but CVD moving up, so that's an in candle bearish CVD, but it already played out, but it doesn't look too strong at the moment, right? So the probabilities might play out. And then the golden pocket is next, which is always an area of interest if you do lose this though. So Balas, yo, what's up, Balas? Education wise, in this situation, what is better in general if I'm in a short from 68, let's say? Hope to go down or hope not going up? If you're in a short from 68, let's say 68.00 then, I guess, or somewhere in the 68K area. Look, this is no financial advice, right? You have to do you, but probabilities are higher for price to move down as long as this isn't hit. With that information, you would know that if you trade Elliott waves, you know how to manage it, right? So naturally, this would be your stop because that's your invalidation. And then if price goes down, then it goes down. If price goes up, you get stopped, but that's no problem because you have great risk management, of course, right? You lose 1% per trade or 2%, but not your whole portfolio or liquidation. And then the moment this is hit, probabilities increase to continue towards the upside. Doesn't mean it goes directly, because I would then, for example, just wait and see what price is going to do, right? What do we get? And depending on the price section, I might be interested to join or not join or later or not at all. But currently this 618, that's the important level on the chart. NL Koala, see you next time, and thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate seeing you again in the chat. Brother, what strategy for today? I kind of just summarized, but of course the analysis has been done earlier at minute 17 in this live stream, where you can see what we are thinking, and very, very locally, I just mentioned it, right? So yeah, probability high to go down unless you have the 618. However, just a big ass side note, it's weekend. Weekend is famous for its ranges, but yeah, probabilities naturally after the move down, ending on the highest amount of volume, probabilities are higher to continue down unless you hit this 618. I think Abruzzo area has affordable houses. Remember looking at some a while ago. Ah, Mark, do you have interest to move to Italy maybe? Aye, what's up, Yamashi? Pinger, don't forget to visit Cascata del Verona when you're here, north of the Garda. Wait, I'm going to screenshot that message. I'm going to send it to my wife, who is downstairs on WhatsApp. 1 second. So I said, this guy lives 15 minutes away from the Garda Lake. He recommends this as well, so she can put it in the plan. She's the planner. If you want to snipe a scalp entry on a falling knife, do you use market or limit? I mean, I'm a market entry guy, and I just take the fees as like it's just cost of business. Some people maybe want to go limit, but with a limit, you might risk to not enter the position. With the market, you are certain. With a limit, you're not certain. So it depends on what you want, I suppose. Okay, my wife says that she's gonna check it out. She's gonna check Cascade del Vagon. You are from Morocco. Marrakesh. Isn't that the capital? Marrakesh? Or am I like being stupid here? I mean, Marrakesh is very famous in the Netherlands. My geography is not too great though, not gonna lie. I learned it at high school once upon a time, and shit, it was a long time ago by now. I mean, I'm 31. My strategy is prepared, my grilled chicken, watch some TV with a couple of Heinekens. Mark, what's the show you're watching at the moment? Like, if you watch TV, do you watch any series? What you're up to? So my wife and I, we started watching Suits a while ago, but we haven't made a lot of progress. And we have watched more movies. We watched Dalmel recently. Dalmel, which is with Bobby Brown, that one. That was quite a nice movie. I like that one. And in the airplane, when I went to South Africa and came back, I actually watched the Matrix movies because, I never watched them before, but I like them. Only checking and keeping an eye on Bitcoin here at the moment. So for Bitcoin dominance, though, I did share something in altcoin TA, I think. The thing with Bitcoin dominance is actually you can't really do an Elliott Wave analysis on the Bitcoin dominance because you can't exceed 100 or 0%. It's a percentage chart, not a price chart. But nonetheless, this is how I would count this at the moment. So 236 bounce, 886 touch, higher probability to still go up. But it's always going to range sideways. That's the thing. So I have a feeling that when an impulse is done, like a full 5 waver, you go down again. And then you go down in a corrective structure, and then it just goes sideways. Netflix binge. Oh, you got rid. Oh. And then instead you got HBO and some of the others. I like binge watching on a hangover Sunday though. So what do you watch, Mark? Like football or pleasure Nokia 3. Appreciate it. And glad that you also watch the content on the channel. Thanks for your support. You've been around already for a while now. Abram 10, we'll check it out. There you go. I want to live anywhere except for the Netherlands. What are you looking for, Mark? Are you looking for a change in weather, change of people, I don't know, economy? You want to go to the south, like the sun? Like what are you looking for? Ocean? Are you going to visit Slovenia soon? It's not on the plan at the moment, though. Slovenia. Never been there. But we first want to do Italy because of the honeymoon then. And then, I don't know, what's going to be next? Before the end of the year, we should be in the south of France, living in the south of France, as we are gonna move to the south of France. We don't yet have a house, but what we're going to do, I have a French passport, my mom is French. What we're going to do is sell the house in the Netherlands, Airbnb a place in the south of France, which gives us the opportunity to look for houses locally. And then first get an apartment to see what the lifestyle and the weather and everything is like for 1 full year, and then decide if we want to buy something or not. You can go all the way down to the 1 minute with Elliott Wave theory, but the like 15 is the lowest I want to go, because the lower you go, the more messy it's gonna be. And I mean, John, I'm not sure if John is watching from Australia. He likes low time frame, but usually Elliott Wave theory, if you go like the traditional route, the higher time frames are best. But for me, I can go down to the 15 and still work very nicely with Elliott Wave theory, but I don't really like to go below 15 minutes. What's up, Ionot Sandu? Good to have you here again. Not been a while. Good to have you here. What's up? How you doing? Your trick is very useful, bro. What's up, Vortex Gaming? I'm not sure what trick I mentioned, but I'm glad it's useful. Lighter limits, but rather watching agency on 10 second and market smash. 10 second, that's scalping. So it's nice. Order block holding so far. Not bad. We do have bullish CVD on blue. So we already, but yeah, we had bullish CVD here. Now we have bullish CVD here. But I personally just wait, see what the range is gonna bring, what the weekend's gonna bring. Usually you don't really start a wave 3 or something during a weekend. And we didn't yet hit the 618 for bullish probabilities for knife catching. Yeah, that depends on the strategy. Yeah, you want to definitely have a very low time frame look if you want to catch knives. Chopion Solama Army. Like the name. Correction to 52k. The 0.618 on the logarithmic chart at 49k would be an invalidation for a wave 4 in the bull market. 52k, there is a slim chance, but then you actually first want to take 74k. If you take 74k first and then move down, there is a higher probability of reaching a potential 52k level. As long as we don't take 74k, probabilities are very low. Blacklist is one of the best at Netflix. Okay, I gotta write that down now. Okay, Blacklist. The Blacklist. 7.9 on IMDb. Season 1 till 10 are on Netflix. 10 seasons? An American crime thriller television series. Wow. 7.9 on IMDb. That's a high rating. A new FBI profiler has her entire life uprooted when a mysterious criminal was eluded capture that turns himself in and insists on speaking only to her. Okay. Noted. Mate. I've seen The Witcher already. I'm a gamer. Yeah, that's my background. I used to be a professional gamer. Any game related stuff, I watch it. Of course. The books, of course. The game, I know. I mean, the movies were great, or the series was great. But now Henry Cavill is, of course, going to stop as The Witcher because they are now apparently going to go a bit away from the books. And now the Thor guy, what's the actor again? He's going to be the actor now, no? So let's see how he's training hard at the moment to take over. I'm very curious to the new season. I'd like a place where spring weather all year round. Okay, so it's weather related, moving for the weather, but maybe I'll start digital nomad life. Go all over the globe. Wow, that would be impressive. So rent or buy a little bus, change that bus into like a bedroom, bathroom, and that sort of stuff, and then just drive around, go all over the globe. Mark, can you work like from a distance, like online? Can you work digitally? Nice English. How deep into time? Okay, I answered that one. Where's the best way to learn Elliott Wave theory, and how long will it take you? So let's start with the first one. The best way to learn Elliott Wave theory, in my opinion, which is how I did it, and I learned it by myself, I didn't have a mentor or coach or that sort of stuff, is to get a pen and a notebook dedicated to Elliott waves only, like we've done at university. And then I would start with this website, which is in the link in the description. So if you open it, then scroll down, there's like education or whatever I call it. And they have a bit.ly/Elliott Wave detailed link, which is this one. Start here. Read it first, read the whole thing, and then draw the pictures, draw the levels, like completely copy. It doesn't completely copy what you see here. Make notes with the rules, and and then per page, preferably per page, have one pattern in there. So normal impulse, page 1. Impulse with an extended wave 1, page 2. Impulse extended wave 5, page 3, and then write the rules and stuff there. Right? And once you finish with this website, you can always look for other websites to get more info. But of course, implementation. So once you figured out more about a traditional impulsive structure, so once you wrote down everything that has to do with an impulse, go to the chart, go to a high time frame, any chart, and try to see if you can find an impulse. And then also put the fibs on the chart to see how is the retracement. Is this what I want to see, right? Is this an extended wave 3? So, and then you start implementing. That's most important, but it starts with the theory. How long is it going to take you? Probably around 2 years minimum to get to a certain level where you can really get to the probabilities for each scenario and very clearly know how probabilities are changing, and all that. It's likely going to be at least 2 years. But you make progress, right? Like each time. And so, yeah. Now, so that's how I would start. And if you want more information or whatever, just join Discord, because in Discord, there's many people there that share Elliott Wave stuff as well. It's a very active group. By the way, guys, there's over 2,000 of you in the group. 1 second. 2,046. 15 new people. 2,046 people in the group. If it doesn't work, by the way, the link for you, it's not broken, but you are auto-banned. So you're probably at the bottom here. If you see yourself, then here, young accounts rule, I have to do this, right? And then I know this is all bullshit. So there you go. So it's an active community. They're always there to help you. If you have questions, you can just ask people in the community. They're there, and I'm there as well. So if you don't know, you can also tag me. I'll answer the question. But in the gold membership, that is where all my knowledge is in a course. So everything of Elliott Waves that I know is in the gold course, or gold membership, which is the Elliott Wave course. And then once a week, we have a live stream where people in gold can ask me anything. And I just answer all the questions people have. And most common is that people are in there for 1 month. So it's like they remember for 1 month. They can easily consume all the content in that month. And then they either go silver, they go diamond. Some people stay, but also people quit, of course. So where were we? Knife catching. Yesterday's volatility has been really sweet. That is correct. I gave up on blacklist after 2 seasons. How come? It was like too repetitive, or that's what I had with that with like the bank robbery series. What was it? On Netflix. Not Money. Was it Money? Yeah, La Casa de Papel. I watched this like I think the first season or something, but I didn't really I don't know, it started to be a bit repetitive in a way, or they lost me. I never finished that. What do you think, and where does Bitcoin fall? Well, probabilities are higher, like summary for everyone joining us now. Locally, at least, very locally. I've gone through the higher time frames as well, but very locally, probabilities are higher to move down unless you hit the 618 over here at 68.9k. That is as easy as I can make it. This was a strong move to the downside, ending on the highest amount of volume, and naturally that is then the follow-up probabilities. And if Bitcoin falls, then likely you take this low. And there's not too much support down here, so quite quickly look 63k, 62k area here. Do I have anything there? 1 second here. Let me open pop. No, we're currently bouncing on the previous range point of control. Yeah. But yeah, you do have the low here, so that would be something. But that's currently probabilities. The more you look, the better it got. That's my goal. Work remotely and preferably just trading. I see. Mark, where are you in your trading journey? Are you in the building a strategy phase? Are you in break even, getting to profitability? Like, where are you starting? Where are you? Just a laptop, sunglasses, six-pack. Six-pack of beer you're talking about, no? Yeah, exactly. Do you use Elliott cycles of time, and where can we study? I don't use like Elliott cycles as in, I suppose you're also talking market cycles. Of course, I do Elliott wave analysis on the monthly time frame, and I analyze the cycle, like it's a cycle analysis, like from the beginning of Bitcoin to where it is now. And I do use time myself in my analysis. Fib time is important to me. But I'm not sure what you mean with Elliott cycles of time. But I do use time. So if you're talking about where can I learn Fib time, I actually don't have a great source. Usually when you learn Elliott waves, you very quickly notice that it's about the right look between the waves and similarity in time. I do have a whole video in gold though that goes in detail into Fib times per scenario and per wave, but in the book of Elliott wave principle, they don't really like they don't talk about time per scenario, which is something that I did in gold. But what they do talk about is guidelines of wave formation, and then they see alternation, that is time, wave equality, that's time, the right look, that is also time. And then if we go to the other side, then here you have chapter 4, Fibonacci time sequences, right, which is all about time. So if the question is time. Over 2000. I wonder who's pushing it. Mark is pushing it. Mark pushing it. Not to offend you, but using the success means you've been... no, that's actually not true. That is incorrect. It's interesting that people always think that, oh, you use a certain fib, so you must have been. But there is more people that collect statistics. There's more people that trade ICT knowledge without actually seeing ICT videos. There's more people that use order blocks and know about order blocks just than the ICT person. So, yeah. It's not something that he invented. You know, there's more people that use statistics and more people that build data. More people that know about gun theory and combine things. So, yeah, you will probably see it in many other videos, or I guess analysts as well. It's quite general knowledge. I mean, I've seen it at many places. But it's the same as with the guy from like ICT that says order blocks is his thing. I mean, bullshit. Order blocks it's general knowledge. Many people know about order blocks, but yeah. And besides, from an Elliott Waves point of view, right? Learning Elliott Waves, I started in February 2021 without a mentor, without anyone to learn Elliott Waves. Yeah. So it's a difficult way of analyzing the chart. There's so much theory, so that, yeah, there's not many places, but I never had Elliott Wave mentors. In price discovery, I say I'm a medium advanced trader, 3.5 years trading now. I see. What do you mean with medium/advanced? Like, of course, you could say that's time related, but are you currently in what state? Are you in the break even, slightly profitable? Do you have a strategy? By the way, just Cupolini. Doesn't mean, of course, that Chart Champions, like what he has built as a company is very impressive, and what he does and how he's helping people is amazing. So I know Daniel as the guy I know. I mean, I don't mind him. I like him. He's a good guy. I mean, it looks like he does well for himself and does some things with charities, and like I like to see that sort of stuff as well. So yeah. I don't really recognize the cocky arrogance. I think what you see, of course, is people tend to say we are the best, we make the most profit, we are the market makers. But that's not just what CC does. There's many groups, that eventually go that route, which is a bit like unfortunate because we're all in it for the same thing. And the moment those things are said, I'm always like, no, no. But it doesn't mean that what people teach you is very relevant, right? And what they can give you can be very, very good for your career. But I don't like the marketing of we're the best and stuff. But him as a person, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like him as I don't know him, of course. So I mean, just from what I know, it looks like a good guy. But I've never met him in real life. I know that sometimes he travels and he meets up with people. I also know he was in Amsterdam one time, but I didn't have the chance to meet Daniel. For the gamers, any chess players around here? Because that is my game. Unfortunately, I'm not a chess player myself. I'm a gamer though. I gotta say, I actually don't play games really anymore nowadays unless I'm with friends. Because I prefer to work, like do YouTube, trading, speaking. But yeah, I was a professional player in Trackmania. If you look for the name Koens online on Google, you will probably not even really find the YouTube channel. You'll probably find all the gaming stuff. Why are alts dumping right now? Anybody has a clue? People over leveraged, people selling. Market longs are being absorbed, and once it goes, bam, 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 liquidity, like liquidation, stop loss, and yeah, it can go very quick. I suppose that that is also that, and Bitcoin dominance, if that's pumping, that of course also doesn't help. Yeah. I don't really know him too well to really have a good opinion. But yeah, he does have a lot of info, a lot of stuff they share there. A big variety of things. which is quite impressive. Also with a team, of course. Always be thankful for the knowledge here. Yeah, as you should. Yeah, it's important. Like when you learn something somewhere. No, chess player. You should ask Benjamin Cohen. He's a great player. Why am I not surprised that Benjamin is a chess player as well? I mean, shit, he looks like a chess player. And also the way he goes over the chart and the data and everything that he's measuring. I mean, it's just the way he does things. Yeah, could have known. Yeah, could have known. It's such a chess brain. Yeah. I watched his videos in the past. I haven't watched it for a very long time, but I remember who he is and how he analyzes the chart with his own indicators and stuff. Yeah, it's fun, man. Yeah, I remember. Okay, well, price is dropping a little bit towards the golden pocket. I do have to start moving though. It's 8 p.m. now, and wifey got home from abroad after a 12-hour flight. So it's time to cook. Time to chill, probably watching a movie or something, and then tomorrow morning there will be a new update. Let's see where price is going to be. So yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out. All 158 people that are still here. Cheers. Thanks for being here at the moment. Everyone that was here, which is 1,825 people today. Wow, that's a lot. 1,825 views. And I'm still not sure if like one person can probably be more views because you go in and out, and then probably you count for more than one. But nonetheless, thanks everyone for hanging out. We actually passed the 9.4K subscribers today, which is incredible. When I came back last week, Wednesday, from holiday, it was 8,813. We're now at 9.412. Insane, guys. That's incredible. So thanks so much. It's crazy to see how quick that curve moves to the upside. We're approaching 10K. I already have a big surprise for you that hopefully you'll like at 10K, and I'm going to think about some goodies and giveaways as well. But if we continue this speed, I don't have too much time to think about it. It's probably going to be like 2 weeks or something. So yeah, let's see. It's crazy. Thanks guys. And Milo, appreciate it, man. But yeah, everyone here, appreciate you being here as well. Mark, thanks for the spam of the Discord. Yeah, exactly, Mark. Yeah. Well, I mean, YouTube does its thing, right? YouTube is just algorithm, but Discord, 2K. Thanks everyone. And yeah, Balas, feel free to ask it in Discord. I'm happy to answer. But yeah, cheers. Have a good evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you live, night. I'm going to catch you at the next one.